Well, I've just got down to the west coast and the sun is just set. Still got probably about half an hour, 40 minutes of daylight left. Sun literally just went below the horizon as I pulled up, and yeah, it's a lovely evening. Now I've headed down to a spot on the west coast, and this particular mark I haven't been to in quite some time, so I have no idea what it's been like. Coming up to low tide, so it's low tide in about an hour, just under an hour. 20 past 10 is low tide. So my idea was to hop out onto these rocks and give it a go with Savage Gear Sundeal, and then as it gets to darkness I'll head back to the shore and give it a go straight off the shoreline, and then work my way around some rocky outcrops not far from the shore. I may head back out here, but yeah, that's the plan. Now, as you can see, like a mill pond, but we're going to give it a go anyway. Let's see if there's any bass around. Now I don't really know whether to expect much as I'm getting started. Hopefully some bass will move in once the sun, well, sun's gone down, but once it gets dark, I plan on giving it a good hour and a half, 2 hours. But it's just a case of having a few casts, moving around, trying the different ground, a few different lures. And yeah, playing around with the trees and fast, slow, jigging it. See if anything bites. I may actually put a surface lure on. Well, I've still got a bit of daylight, and there's a reef to my left which I can hop on some rocks and kind of cast in that direction, a bit shallower ground. So I may just do that while there's still a bit of daylight. I'm just playing around with surface lure at the moment. It's actually getting a bit difficult to see it already. That light's fading. Luckily, the water's calm, so you can pick it up. You also hear it as well, working across the surface, so not too bad. Now, all I'm doing with the surface lure, for anyone who's not too familiar with them, I've had a few people message me lately asking a few questions regarding surface lures. The whole idea of these is to imitate a wounded bait fish. Now, it's better to do a slower to steady retrieve, just sort of like that with the reel. You can go a little bit faster just whilst tapping, I'm not quite sure if you can see that, the end of the rod tip. And as you do those together, the lure, sorry, looks like a wounded bait fish. It looks just like when you actually catch a fish and you're reeling it in and it's kicking about on the surface. That's pretty much exactly what you're trying to copy. And you can just pause the lure. You can do a few like erratic movements. The whole point is to make it look lifelike. So yeah, I mean, when I first started using surface lures, it took me ages to actually catch a bass with one. And obviously you question, am I doing it right? Watch other people, watch videos. And if you're confident in what you're doing, you are doing it right. It's just obviously if the fish aren't there, you're not going to get them. But it just takes a bit of time, bit of effort, bit of practice. And what I would say is, especially on nights like this, when the water's calm, you know, just go somewhere and blast one out and just play with it. Just play with it. And you'll pick up different techniques. You'll see certain people doing it different. Some people like to just tap the tip like that with a steady retrieve. But they all do the same thing. So yeah, that's really all I can say about them. The only other tip I would give is you will get it, it will happen. You'll get splashes behind the lure. And if that happens, just pause it. Pause the lure dead in its tracks. And 9 times out of 10, the bass, they'll come back and smash it. But yeah, saying that, I haven't had a bass off the top since February. And we're now well into June. But it should be prime season now. The bass will become more active. There's a lot of bait fish in the water. So they'll be chasing them. If you stumble across a few bass, if you happen to catch one on a different lure, stick a surface lure on. And if they're there, they're going to hit it. But anyway, what I might do now is just work my way back across the rocks as it's getting dark and have a few casts in each spot until I get back onto the shoreline. And then in the cover of darkness, have a few goes straight off the shore. Had success with that before, so worth a try again. But yeah, it's a beautiful night tonight. Look at that.